Our backpacking duo, Steve and Jordan, head to Arkansas in search of the highest point along the Ozark Highlands Trail. This week on Backpacker Get Out More TV. Welcome back to Backpacker Get Out More TV. I am your host, Randy Propster, and we are so happy to have you back with us this week as we head to Arkansas in search of the highest point on the Ozark Highlands Trail. Now, before we get out there and join Steve and Jordan on trail, please take a moment, hit that like button, hit subscribe, and turn on that bell for notifications so that we can inform you every time we bring you another episode of Backpacker Get Out More TV. Also, be sure to find the link in the description below. Every week we give away some fantastic prize packs. Prizes this week from great brands that you could win, like Darn Tough, Jetboil, Lakey, Mystery Ranch, Sawyer Products, Sea to Summit, Yellowstone Select Kentucky Bourbon, and Visit NC Smokies. Now, the Smoky Mountains, hometown of our fearless backpacking duo, Steve and Jordan, live right there in Haywood County. They love living there because it's a fantastic backpacking destination. Great time of year to visit. Fall foliage is absolutely spectacular, so we invite you to pay a visit to Haywood County. Now, Steve and Jordan, when they left their Haywood County home, they headed out to Arkansas, and on the way, stopped off in Little Rock at Ozark Outdoor Supply. Jim Frank and his team have been at it since 1972, and they have certainly earned their reputation as the outdoor experts that know all things Arkansas. So we're excited to have Jim tell us more about his shop, have his associate Matthew give us a little bit of detail about the area where Steve and Jordan will be backpacking, and then have their associate Joe take a closer look at how sewing techniques from Darn Tough can ensure a perfect fit. Enjoy the beginning of yet another fantastic episode of Backpacker Get Out More TV.
Feeling trippy? So why not get higher? We're talking in the mountains high. Where's your mind anyway? Clearly, you need a vacation. So take things to the next level. Don't just settle. Make it an adventure. Let loose. Lean in. Get strung along. And bring the family. It's that kind of place. Why the elk would you go anywhere else?
My name is Jim Frank. I am the owner of Ozark Outdoor Supply here in Little Rock, Arkansas. And we are here with Backpacker Magazine doing the Get Out More tour. Ozark Outdoor started in 1971 by an old school hippie dude that is sort of kind of portrayed with our sticker logo, kind of the Keep on Trucking style artwork. And he had a vision back in those days to do an outdoor store, and he ran it for several years up into the mid-80s, and then our family got involved with it, and I've been up here since 1988 and rolling right along. It's pretty much been traditionally an old school, we call it an old school outdoor store. We've, at times branched off into, lifestyle type stuff. And we do a little bit of that, but we've kind of came back to our roots and figured out that, the old school gear technical side was where we needed to stay and where we were best at. That was our expertise.
Well, hi, I'm Matthew Levy. I work at Ozark Outdoor Supply. I'm one of the salesmen up here and one of the backpackers on staff. And I'm here to talk to you about the Ozarks. Beautiful wilderness areas loaded with creeks, boulders, mountain biking, backpacking, kayaking, everything you could really want. And the beauty of it is it's all raw. A lot of it's undeveloped still, which is just incredible. 'Cause there's areas where you can go where just nobody goes. You just have to know how to get to them, and that's part of the fun. Like Richland Wilderness and Hurricane Creek Wilderness, Buffalo National River, all are just phenomenal areas that most people don't even know exist. We have lots and lots of critters. If you come down here, set bear bags, more for the rodents than for the bears. I mean, we have bears, but I can't tell you how many times I've had raccoons steal my food because I didn't set a bear bag. So you have to set your bear bags. A lot of biting bugs as well. I don't suggest it in the summer. I love it down here in the summer, but if you're not okay with getting chewed on by everything, I suggest fall, spring, winter. Very humid year round as well, even in the winter. So you have to be prepared for that. And then sturdy footwear, for sure. We have extremely rocky, rooty, nasty trails. A lot of them are pretty overgrown, so sturdy footwear is a must. Yeah, in the summer, a lot of the woods will dry up. Not completely dry up, but like the Washitas, if you're gonna hop on the Washita Trail in the summer, you generally want to stash water. Like I did a 100-mile stretch a while back and I went 30 miles without a solid water source and it was pretty stressful. So you do have to be real careful in the summer. The Ozarks are a little bit better about it, but even then, it just depends on the summer. Sometimes we have pretty dry seasons and it can really dry up and leave you in a pickle.
It's ozarkoutdoor.com. And we also are on Facebook and Instagram.
Hi, I'm Joe Clark with Ozark Outdoor Supply, talking to you today about Darn Tough socks out of Vermont, still made in the USA. Full lifetime guarantee on them. Darn Tough is made with a high micron merino wool for softness and durability. So along with the very nice merino wool that they use a small needle and they use a fine needle machine, which creates less bulk in the sock. Less bulk means better fit means longer life. So one of the main benefits of having a merino wool sock is that they're very comfortable next to skin. They also give great temperature regulation for the body, so they'll keep you warm in the winter and they keep you cool in the summer. They're also very good at wicking, so when you're in an environment like we have here with both hot and cold temperatures, they can be used year-round. You don't have to have a special sock for a special season. Darn Tough makes a wide variety of socks. They make socks for hiking, biking, running, skiing, and lifestyle to head down to the local brew pub with.
You can't take full advantage of hiking if you don't take good care of your feet, and that's why we love Darn Tough socks so much. They offer a variety of colors and designs for men and women. They're super comfortable because they're made from merino wool blend that's also antimicrobial so they don't get funky. And best of all, the socks are so durable that Darn Tough offers a lifetime warranty. To learn more about Darn Tough socks, go to darntough.com or click the link in the description below.
If you ask backpackers about their dream backpacking destinations, you might hear about the Appalachians, the Continental Divide, maybe even the Pacific Crest. The Ozark Mountains of Arkansas are probably overlooked, but they shouldn't be. I personally believe that the Ozarks is a hidden gem, a backpacker's delight, and we're excited to be able to share a portion of the Ozark Highlands Trail with you this week as Steve and Jordan search out the high point of that very trail.
This is another use for trekking poles, right?
Spider sticks. There's a ton of spider webs on this trail. I'm tired of walking face first into them. So. Seems to be working okay.
More.
There's no end to the spiders.
It's a little thick in here.
All right, I think we're about halfway, maybe a little bit over. So far the trail's been pretty sweet. We've not really seen anyone else. And the trees remind us of home, so it's a little bit nostalgic. The spider webs are pretty bad. But yeah, overall, sweet hike. The temperature's really nice, so not too hot out. And yeah, just trekking along.
Damn,
Steve says this is a freshie. How do you know that, Steve?
because it's still kind of like wet and kind of still has some elastic to it. It hasn't been dried out by the sun or anything.
Yeah, it feels kind of sticky.
Wild.
Almost. Cool.
That's perfectly intact. That means he's a really healthy snake, y'all. He's hydrated.
He's perfectly
well
intact.
fed. Yeah.
So we are back in poison ivy country, and I think it's really important to point out that poison ivy actually grows in vines as well as on the ground. So any kind of vine that you see that's hairy like this, that typically is poison ivy. It's a better bet just to not touch it if you're not sure, but you can actually, on this one, because it's a newer vine, you can see the 3 leaves. This is an older one, so it just looks like an old hairy vine. And I've actually had friends have to be hospitalized not knowing that it was poison ivy, and they were doing yard work and inhaled a lot of it and had to get hospitalized for some help. So just be wary. If you don't know what it is, don't touch it.
All right. All right, so it looks like we've made it to a solid little campsite here. Solitude factor is amazing. We've got a nice little campfire, and for the first time in a long time, we're allowed to have a fire. So it's time to go get some firewood, set up the tent, and get to cooking.
All right, we're super stoked to be back in the South. We looked up some of the things food-wise that Arkansas is known for, and one of it is a fried chicken. And I happen to make a pretty sweet fried chicken meal in the front country and have figured out a way to make it backcountry friendly. So I'm really excited about this one. We are basically gonna make fried chicken nuggets, instant mashed potatoes, and corn on the cob. We are using the Jetboil Flash tonight because I like how quickly it boils the water. I also am really stoked about these little Jetboil supports at the bottom, especially when I'm using the Flash because of how tall and skinny it is. So it's really nice to have that extra space on the ground to kind of balance it on there. So that's what we're gonna be cooking the mashed potatoes in. We're gonna do the corn on the fire, so that's pretty awesome. And then I brought the Jetboil Maximo with the frying pan to do the fried chicken. So I'm actually gonna cook the fried chicken first because the instant mashed potatoes literally take like 1 minute to do. So, and friendly reminder that you always wanna screw on your Jetboil attachments, whatever they are, with it sitting straight upright, not sideways like this. Screw that all the way on. This one I like, you can really see the regulator on there, so that's what we've talked about, where it just keeps a consistent pressure. Basically, at the car, I just cut up a chicken breast, and I've been hiking with it in a bag with ranch dressing, which sounds a little bit weird, but it makes a really nice base flavor. You can also use mayonnaise if you just really don't like it, ranch dressing. And then as far as the mix goes, I basically just do breadcrumbs, Parmesan cheese, and then some salt and pepper and garlic powder seasoning, stuff like that. So just kind of make that to taste. You can also buy pre-bought chicken or fish fry stuff too if you don't feel like making it yourself. So first thing we're gonna do here is turn on our stove. You're gonna need some oil for this one too, so we've always bring a little baby Nalgene full of oil, but you're gonna want a hefty amount for this meal since we are doing fried chicken. Now I'm basically gonna take the chicken one by one, dunk it in the powder mix, plop that in there. So I'm just gonna flip them back and forth until they are cooked, nice golden brown. So basically this meal is just, you have to do a little bit extra prep at the car, but the cooking it in the backcountry part is not difficult at all. See the taste. Oh, hot. Oh my God, that's so good.
Really?
Oh my gosh. I can't believe we're eating that in the backcountry. It's so good.
With over 200 miles in length, the Ozark Highlands Trail is an absolute gem in northwest Arkansas, an area of the country that's overlooked but should definitely be on your backpacking radar, which is why we love being able to share these amazing destinations with you. We also love the idea of sharing tips and techniques that can help you feel safer, more comfortable, more confident the next time you get out there on trail, gear tips that can help you keep that gear in great shape, and we've got some of that for you now as Steve brings us a forgotten feature, how a little care and maintenance can go a long way to keeping those trekking poles in action.
All right, our gear is always good to us, so we want to be good to it. I noticed a lot of people, including myself up to like a year ago to be honest, didn't know that you actually have to do some maintenance to keep your trekking poles in good shape. So when we come home, every time we get home, we open them up and really open them up, because what happens is we're dragging these through mud, dirt, sometimes rain, often moisture, all kinds of junk. So it's good to let them dry. If water gets stuck in there, or water dries in between metal, it's never that great. So I like to leave mine open, let them dry out. And I just kind of look them over. I'll grab a damp rag, and if I've got some dirt, I'm just gonna get that off of there. If there's some grit or anything in between my fittings, I'm just gonna give them a good clean. I'm sure it wouldn't hurt to spray with a little grease every now and then too. And beyond a little muck, moisture, and dirt, sometimes we're gonna come home and our poles are gonna need a little bit more TLC. Lecky has a really awesome PDF on their website that showcases how to fix or work on all of the individual poles. I downloaded this to my cell phone and I bring it with me into the backcountry just in case I need to fix something on the go.
Lecky trekking poles are a great addition to your pack to help with extra stability and help take the pressure off your knees and ankles. Lecky trekking poles come in a variety of lightweight materials and styles. The innovative handles are super comfortable and they offer a unique adjustable strap system. Plus, they break down really easily to store in your pack when you're not using them. To learn more about the products from Lecky, head on over to lecky.com or click the link in the description below.
When you're in the Ozark region, searching for that Ozark Highlands Trail, be sure to stop in at Buffalo Peak Outfitters. Another of my favorite outfitters around the country, fantastic staff, great selection of product, and they know their stuff, so they can certainly help you plan and prepare your next adventure. We had a chance to stop in and talk to Bob McCain about the shop. His associate Dave brings us a Just the Specs, taking a good look at the oboes bridger, and then Bob's going to bring us a skill every backpacker should know: respecting wildlife.
Hi, this is Bob McCain with Buffalo Peak Outfitters in Jackson, Mississippi. We've been in business for over 30 years, outfitting people for trips literally all over the world. Backyards, state parks, through hiking the AT. We've done it all over those 30 years. But yeah, Instagram, social media, Facebook, we do a big job with that. We've got a lot of followers there.
and it's been good. It helps create community. You know, it's not just about selling product. It's about selling what we do and getting people involved and getting people outdoors, and just helps to create that community of like-minded people who enjoy the outdoors, and so it's been a great platform for us. Like I said, not just pushing product. We put product on there, but it's not always the main focus of what our social media is directed towards. Yeah, so if you're in the Jackson, Mississippi area, come see us. We'll get you outfitted for just about any trip that you can imagine. Again, anything from backyard with the kids, state park for a long weekend, or through hiking the AT. We've got the expertise and we've got the gear to get you out there and take care of you.
The Oboz Bridger Mid is one of our go-to boots. It is a medium volume fit, so it fits multiple people, most of the people that come into our door. Super important that we have a boot that most of the customers that come in our door have the last that fits their foot. Oboz is all about foot and function. One of the things that makes this a unique boot is that they do the traditional nubuck leather, but you don't have the old traditional heavy weight of the old backpacking boots of the older days. So this boot comes in at right around 20 ounces per boot, and it gives you all the advantages of a top line old leather hiking boot. It comes with a hidden value in their O-Fit insole, which traditionally you don't get an insole that has the features that this one has. It gives you that deep heel pocket to put that foot in that neutral position that increases your ability to hike longer without fatigue. It gives you shock absorption in the forefoot and the heel, and gives you the value of an aftermarket insole in the cost of your boot.
Oboz Footwear. We plant a tree for every pair sold. 1 million and counting. That's a lot of f***ing trees.
So one thing that's very important if you are hiking or camping in bear country is to make sure that you're aware of what's going on while you're there. If the Park Service posts a notice, has a sign up, has it on their website about increased bear activity in an area, pay attention to that. Don't just assume that that's for everyone else and not for you. What that means is that there's either maybe an aggressive bear in the area that has gotten into a car or gotten into a trash can at a campground. Through our human mistake, we've done something that's created a bad situation for that bear. So if you're being warned not to go into an area, and I know I've been in Denali National Park where areas have been closed because bears are denning at the time, or perhaps a bear and just in their natural everyday life has made a kill, and they're obviously very protective of that. They're very protective of cubs. You don't need to be in that area. And so make sure that you pay attention to those things, because what a lot of us don't understand is that if we don't pay attention to those warnings and there is a bear-human interaction, oftentimes it's the bear that suffers the most. If humans get hurt, if humans report that there's been an aggressive bear in an area, normally that bear either has to get relocated or has to get put down, and that's a shame. You know, that's our responsibility to try to avoid those situations. Again, we're in their environment, we're in their habitat, they're just living their normal lives. It's up to us to take the responsibility to make sure that we don't put ourselves in a bad situation And even worse, that we put that bear in a bad situation where it has to be put down. That's just a shame.
We all know that we're living in very interesting times. Events on the ground like we used to host with the Get Out More tour just weren't an option this year. And I couldn't have been more disappointed in that by the fact that we actually were going to go over to Hawaii and visit Justin Brackett and his team at Aloha, a fantastic outdoor store on the island that is going to help outfit you for any and all of your dream vacation plans in Hawaii. They're a fun team, they have a great time, and you're gonna see their personality shine through as this week they bring us both a dodging pitfall segment and an instant upgrade segment, helping you plan your next adventure so that you can come visit them on the big island of Hawaii.
Aloha, welcome to Aloha, Hawaii's largest hiking store. It's Uncle's local outfitter of Hawaiian Adventures, and I'm Uncle Justin. We're located here on Oahu, right between Waikiki Beach and the Ko'olau mountain range. On sunny Oahu, the gathering place, we are the jumping off point for your Hawaiian adventures to Kalalau or Waimea Valley on Kauai, Mauna Loa or Waimanu Valley on Big Island, or places such as Haleakala on Maui. Adventures abound here in Hawaii. Aloha will make sure you are properly outfitted to get out there and enjoy Hawaii's various adventures, our waterfalls, our peaks. So many amazing things are out here. Aloha, get in here to get out there.
Hey guys, how's it going? Mariah here from Aloha. Today I have Mystery Ranch's Glacier 70-liter pack I'm going to talk a little bit about. This pack is really great for your overnight camping trips or multi-day trekking adventures. As you can see, this pack is very large. It's as big as me. It has tons of storage space and a lot of really great things about it. Along the front here, we have 2 torpedo pockets that can be used for fuel canisters or extra space. We have a long daisy chain that runs along the center and 2 tool loops that can be used for ice picks or trekking poles. When you flip the bag over, you have the big, thick hip straps that help for weight distribution, as well as the padded support system that helps for moisture wicking. But my personal favorite about the bag is the added day pack feature, where you unclip the top portion of the bag to release the pocket right here. You take out the yoke of the bag, stick it back into the portion with the Velcro to release the Velcro, and release the bag. After releasing the fabric and the webbing, you put the yoke into the day pack, like so. You put the straps in from the Glacier pack in as well. Then you take out the yoke to reseal the Velcro on the pack, and then you have a load-bearing day pack. There are tons of great features about this bag and many others here at Aloha, so get in here to get out there.
Mystery Ranch is on a mission to make the world's best backpacks for a wide variety of outdoor enthusiasts. Built to be extremely configurable with a concentration on organization and accessibility. Plus, these bags are bomb-proof. They are purpose-built to assure not only usability, but durability. To learn more about Mystery Ranch backpacks, visit mysteryranch.com or check out the links in the description below. From staying hydrated to staying bug-free, Sawyer products have been a staple in my pack for years now. Today we're taking a look at Sawyer water filtration systems. Whether you choose to squeeze or let gravity do the work, staying hydrated is a key part of backpacking. And with their lightweight design and ease of use, they've become my favorite pick for the backcountry. To learn more about these or any of Sawyer's products, head on over to Sawyer.com or visit the link in the description below.
While out on the Ozark Highlands Trail, Steve and Jordan found that a little bit of planning can go a long way, because even if the forecast looks great, you just never know what might come in through the night. They also found that solitude that comes with searching out a backpacking adventure in the Ozark Mountains is absolutely priceless. Let's join Steve and Jordan back out on the Ozark Highlands Trail now.
Good morning.
Good morning. Slept real good last night. Slept in a little bit actually this morning, but
I'm a morning person, but if it's raining,
yeah.
I'll hang it out.
Also, this was a perfect example of always be prepared for changing weather, because we checked and it was not supposed to rain at all. And yeah, it rained on us pretty much all night. So, but we're really dry, slept good. Gonna make some breakfast. This is pretty cool. Our site has a designated bear hang pole.
All right, we kind of are pushing our fire out. We put a little water on it, but it's still smoking. So we're just gonna use our trowel and bury it. Put some of this nice sandy ash on top. All right, so we've got it covered with at least a couple inches of soil. It's that'll choke any of those hot embers out. Now we're gonna pack up, and then before we go, just in case like after we leave the wind picks up and blows all that off, we're just gonna take some of these rocks and cover it up with it. We are in enemy territory. There are lots of booby traps set for us. It's kind of looking like home out there.
No more bugs. No more bugs. So this is pretty cool. This is actually a grapevine. And the way that these work is they find trees when they're little and they attach themselves to the top of baby trees and grow with the tree. So they're actually attached to the tops of the trees. They grow grapes at the very top, but they're not good. These work really well in a survival situation though. It's purified water on the inside of them, so you can get up to 2 liters an hour, I think is what it is, if you were to cut them in half. And yeah, already filtered water if you're ever in a survival situation. Sleeping in the backcountry, I think, is something that really intimidates a lot of beginners, and people even who've been doing it for years think that they can only get a good night's sleep if they've just completely exhausted themselves during the day. And you know, that may have been true decades ago, but it's not true anymore. It does not have to be that way. There is a lot of ingenuity and engineering that goes into creating a sleep system. So if you're gonna go into a retail store and ask for a brand new pair of hiking shoes, odds are good that they're also going to try and make sure that you're wearing the right sock paired with that, and you have all these other things. It's not just about the shoe. It's the same thing with your sleep system, right? I think a lot of people really hyper focus on the degree of the bag. So if they think I'm going to a 20-degree weather area, I need a 20-degree bag. For those of you that are just getting into backpacking and camping, maybe the outdoor world, I know that sleeping in the backcountry away from your bed can be a little bit of an intimidating thing. I think even people who've been doing it for a really long time, there's kind of this misconception that if you get a really good night's sleep, it's just because you've exhausted yourself during the day. And that may have been true decades ago, but there's a lot of ingenuity and engineering that goes behind these products now, and you really can have a really good, really comfortable, warm night's sleep, even if you haven't just completely exhausted yourself during the day. So I'm here to talk to you guys about the sleep system and about the different features that you probably aren't even aware of that go into these products to help make sure that you're having a comfortable and sleep night out in the backcountry. So think about if you were to go into a retail store and ask for some help picking out a brand new pair of hiking boots. Odds are really good that they're also going to want to talk to you about making sure you're wearing the right shoes, or if you go in and you need a new jacket, they're going to also make sure you're wearing the right base layers. It's not just about that one piece of gear, it's about how all of these things work together. And for some reason, the outdoor industry puts a lot of pressure on the temperature ratings of a sleeping bag. If you think you're going into a 20-degree temperature, then you need a 20-degree bag. Instead of taking a look at the whole system and seeing how you can really make that work for you and work to get you the most comfortable night's sleep. So Sea to Summit has designed this 3-part sleep system to make sure you get your most comfortable night in the backcountry, right? The first and most important part of that is actually your sleeping mat. So that's another common misconception, that it's just that make sure you have a good bag, but it's actually making sure you have a good mat, because this is your first layer of defense against the ground. A lot of people think that your pad is just for comfort so that you're not laying on rocks and sticks, but it actually helps keep you insulated. So the ground can suck away your body warmth really, really fast. So having a nice insulated pad can really make a huge difference in your sleep outside. So I've got with me right here the women's specific comfort light. And as a woman, something that I really appreciate that Sea to Summit has done is they've made differences in the way that they actually design their men's versus their women's products. So, a lot of times companies will just make a smaller, prettier, daintier version of a men's product and then call it women's. And that doesn't really help a whole lot. Men and women we're built differently, we sleep differently. A couple episodes ago, if you guys watched that, I talked about how most women sleep in the 4 position or they sleep on their sides. And so what Sea to Summit has done, the coolest part about this self-inflating pad is actually the inside. So it's the part that you can't see, but it's basically foam on the inside of this casing that you're looking at here. And what they've done is they've found a way to use computer-aided design to cut holes in that foam. They're not the ones who came up with this, but they are the ones who've pioneered the ability to do more holes, which ultimately cuts down on your weight of the pad because you have less foam in it. So they have these delta shapes, which are kind of like a taller trapezoid, all along the inside of this, cut all the way the size of the pad all the way down like this. But one thing that they've done that is super unique to Sea to Summit and I think makes a really big difference for me sleeping is in the hips and in the feet, those holes are actually smaller. And so what that does, it means that you have more foam in those areas, and so you have more cushion in those areas. For women, again, like I said, who sleep on their side or sleep, and your feet tend to just be colder anyway, so you've got more foam there, and that helps insulate it more. So that is kind of one of the biggest things. Another thing that I really love about this self-inflatable pad is that they've solved one of my most annoying challenges with self-inflating pads, and that's actually the deflating process. So what Sea to Summit has done is you can actually take this inflate valve, you can twist it, and when you reconnect it, it actually, as you fold this pad up to squish the air out, it captures the progress. So if you let go, or you have to sneeze, or you have to take your hands off of it for whatever reason, it's not gonna self-inflate back up again. It actually holds that progress where you're at. And so I think that's something that I've always been really annoyed with self-inflating pads, that Sea to Summit has completely fixed that problem. So thank you for that. So that's basically your first layer of your sleep system. Second layer is your sleeping bag. So I've got with me here the women's altitude. This is a 23-degree bag. If you're looking at it, you might see some other ratings on the side. That just basically has a lower limit and an extreme. So if you're in a survival situation, it kind of gives you a heads up of what the absolute lowest temperature that you could sleep in and survive in, basically is what that means. So this is a 23-degree bag. It's 750 loft. But again, I don't want you to get really bogged down by the numbers because people tend to hyper-focus on those things when that's not necessarily the most important part.
There are a lot of features that go into this bag to help keep you warm and comfortable.
What'd you think about that one? That was a doozy.
It was.
Don't come here if you don't like bugs.
Yeah, if you don't like spiders, this is not the time of year on this trail for you. We had a spider web fest, I would say.
Yeah, I consider myself a man of the woods, a mountain man.
Yeah, but when you've got a spider, like...
I'm good with most things, but man, web after web to the face. We walked through the woods like this. I'm sure you'll see plenty of that footage.
Yeah, the trail was pretty overgrown, I guess, but it makes a lot of sense because we were the only people that we saw the entire time. The solitude was incredible.
Which, a couple of spiders, a little bit of brush for peace and quiet. I got to read a lot of my book.
Yeah, me too.
We enjoyed a fire. You know, we slept great. You know, it rained, but I don't know. I kind of like it when it rains when I'm sleeping.
Yeah, me too.
And then I got to sleep in because of the rain.
Yeah, overall awesome trip. I think it's been the most relaxing, like human interaction-wise, the most relaxing trip we've been on so far.
Here in New Mexico, I guess. Well, I don't know. We had less people here than New Mexico for sure.
We were able to find a creek, actually. There was a little bit of water source, so that was really nice. I am very thankful we carried up the extra water, though, especially having dogs. They drank a lot, and I'd rather not feel like they're going thirsty at all.
Yeah, that was pretty weird. You know, it rained all night, and when we crossed back over that same drainage, it was barely moving. Mm-hmm. And we crossed over what looked like 2 other drainages during this hike, 3 or 4.
Yeah.
And
they were dry.
But they were dry, so we had one good one. But gosh, I would, like I said, I wouldn't count on it. Be very smart with your water if you're coming here. That's one thing they were right.
Yeah, definitely want you prepared in, and you want to bring a lot of water, and maybe wear rain pants.
Whether you're just going to get out for the day, maybe a short weekend or overnight backpacking trip, or you're trying to thru hike 200 plus miles of the Ozark Highlands Trail, I would highly suggest a visit to the Ozarks of Arkansas. Those mountains are absolutely beautiful, underrated in my opinion. This time of year, the fall foliage is absolutely spectacular, worthy of a toast as a matter of fact. And we're going to do that right now because Jordan is going to bring us this week's trail mixology, a blackberry bourbon smash featuring Yellowstone Select Kentucky Bourbon.
Once you got your berries muddled with your basil, then you're going to add your simple syrup and your lime juice. Just a little bit of a dash of both of those. You can add more or less depending on your preference. Then you're going to add your bourbon, about 2 ounces of that. Top it with ice, and then fill the rest of your glass with club soda. So about 2 ounces. Again, you can do more or less depending on your preference to taste, but let's give it a go. It's refreshing.
Yellowstone Bourbon is handcrafted in the state of Kentucky. These small batch whiskeys are the work of 7th generation craftsmen, resulting in a unique taste, perfect for the trail. Plus, a portion of every bottle sold goes to helping preserve our national parks. Cheers to that. To learn more about the products from Yellowstone Bourbon, head on over to limestonebranch.com or click the link in the description below.
That's going to do it for this week's episode of Backpacker Get Out More TV. We hope you'll come back and join us next week as we move to the Florida Trail. Not only are we going to bring you some great Florida Trail footage, but we also are going to introduce the world, if you will, to a brand new, never before seen product that I personally believe is going to revolutionize a portion of your backpacking gear setup. So make sure you come back and join us next week. Between now and then, hit that like button, hit subscribe, turn on the bell for notifications. Also, leave us a comment. We want to hear from you. What do you want to see more of? What do you want to see less of? What would your vision for Backpacker Get Out More TV be? You may see some of your suggestions come to life as we bring you future episodes of the show. Also, make sure that you are signing up for this week's gear giveaway. Tons of great gear to give away, and we'd love to give you some. Also, get outside, breathe some fresh air, be kind to one another, and enjoy some tunes from Haywood County, North Carolina, hometown of Stephen Jordan, as we send you away this week on Backpacker Get Out More TV. See you next week, everybody.
20 years for the Depression, Peter Thompson staked his claim in a little mountain town. Kenton was her name. Told everyone that was willing, steady work would be their reward. So they started making paper where the Pigeon River fords. But this ain't just another paper town on a random riverside. She was built with blood, sweat, and tears, and a whole lot of pride. From the mountains and the farmlands, around the smokestack she has grown. This ain't just another paper town, it's the one that I call home. Wall Street was crashing, the mill kept going strong, while Hitler's war was raging. Everyone worked twice as long. There's been mergers and sellouts, layoffs when times got tough. Talks about pollution, then cleaning the river up. This ain't just another paper town somewhere along the tracks. She's seen her share of ups and downs and always bounces back. From the mountains and the farmlands, around the smokestack she has grown. This ain't just another paper town, it's the one that I call home. Off to college, bound to do things their own way. Through every generation, her influence is clear. She's taken care of young and old for over 100 years. This ain't just another paper town, it's part of who I am, molding me as a little boy so I could be a better man. From the mountains and the farmlands, around the smokestack she has grown. This ain't just another paper town, it's the one that I call home. This ain't just another paper town, it's the one that I